a day of rebellion. There are 5 bridges in London which are being taken over by activists, and it's a move to make our voices heard. As young people, we want to communicate the message that we're concerned about the state of our future, that we understand what's happening to our planet, and we won't stand by and be passive citizens anymore. I think a lot of young people are feeling really frustrated. They feel intimidated and overwhelmed by the issues we're facing, and they feel out of options in order to make their voices heard. A few moments ago, everyone stormed the bridge. We're here on Westminster Bridge. There's about, I'd say, 300 people sat on the bridge. The police seem very calm, they're not doing anything about it. And hopefully all across London, all the bridges have been taken. And it's really exciting. It's power to the people. It's the youth standing up for what they believe in.
It's a beautiful scene. There is a mass civil disobedience taking place right now, not just on this bridge, on 4 different bridges. And our aim is to close down London. A peaceful act of mass civil disobedience. This is what it's come to.
What do we want? Climate justice! When do we want it?
I'm standing up for climate change for my children and my grandchildren, for their future.
I think that this movement is picking up on everybody's hearts, and it's so wonderful and heartening to feel that there's so many people, particularly young people, but people from all backgrounds and lots of countries who are all standing up. So there's hope for us yet.
Good morning, Extinction Rebellion. No matter who you are or where you're from, it's a scary time to be growing up in the world today. The ice caps are melting, the sea level's rising, the coral reefs bleaching. There's an increase in drought, floods, wildfires, hurricanes and storms. We've emptied our oceans of fish and replaced them with plastic. We're choking our cities with air pollution, especially here in London. We're fast destroying our few remaining fragile ecosystems, and we're in the midst of the 6th greatest extinction. Climate change is a global issue. We need to be aware of not just ourselves, our friends, our neighbours, our family, or even our country, but our biosphere as a whole. Because whether we like it or not, it's all connected. There is nothing like a common enemy to unite people. It's up to our generation to take up the fight. It's up to us to do something about it. Thank you very much.
Rebel for life!
What do we want?
Climate justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Climate justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Climate justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
It's just been said that It's just been said we want 5 bridges. It's just been said that the police are about to start arresting people, and you can stay if you like, and I'm choosing to stay because I don't know what else to do. This is the only option I have left to play my part and deal with this problem, so I'm prepared to be arrested for it. I don't know what else to do now, so here I am.
That the government communicates the seriousness of climate change to the public. We demand that they legally commit to reducing carbon emissions to 0 by 2025, and we demand that this be done as soon as possible.
I'm doing this for my kids because I want them to have a future. I want them to live on a world where they've got opportunities and aren't trying to grow up and find justice in a dying planet.
I've been involved in the movement for 30 years. I've been arrested 5 times by myself, 1 time with 15 others. And to be here today with thousands of people, hundreds of people, to be willing to be arrested with me and with each other is really, really moving. After 30 years we feel maybe maybe the word will finally get out. And I feel like Cassandra. I've been shouting the planet's on fire for 30 years, and now people are... So I'm really moved by it, and I'm really upset by the people who are being burnt alive in California this month. People are burnt alive in Greece this year, and I don't want millions of people to die terribly in the years to come. We've got to do something now.
Got to make people wake up to what's happening. It's no good sitting in your armchairs at home complaining. Get out there and do something.
I think for me the main aim of today is to pass a message to young people in this country and all around the world that it's up to them to make change. It's up to them to stand up and make their voices heard. The issues that we face are overwhelming, and it's easy to think that, well, surely someone has a plan, but the reality is they don't have a plan, and so it falls on our shoulders. It's our duty to stand up and make our voices heard.
Justice! Justice! Justice!
This is the beginning of an uprising. It's been a long time coming. What we are facing is a new moral question for human beings. Are we simply going to rest on our own, content to love our neighbor as ourselves? The great question of our age, the great question that is coming, is who is our neighbor? Is it the robin? Is it the tiger? Is it the antelope? Is it the pangolin? Is it every sentient being on this planet? That is what humanity is now being asked. We can name this progress if we want. This thing that we call progress is destroying our very home. It is destroying our children's home. It is destroying our future. A small group of people, how many are here? 600-700. We're waking up now. Wake up. Wake up. It's time to wake up and find a new humanity. Find a new purpose in what it is to be human. So much bolder, so much braver, so much more loving than the one that we have been sold. I'll leave it there.
Can you hear us? Westminster, can you hear us? Getting louder by the hour. Getting louder by the hour. Power! Power! Power!
Get on the streets, protest, make our government listen to our demands, make them take climate change seriously, because this is the end game now. We need to sort this out, and right now, Extinction, Rebellion.